All right, so let's talk about one of the other fundamental characteristics, which is outlier price action. Now, it's not so much a fundamental characteristic in the sense that it's about the project and it's about the team and the community and, stuff that's much more fundamentals based that we've covered in the other sections. But I would consider price action a fundamental in the way that I use it to determine my long-term investments, okay? So you could argue that this is a technical thing. We're talking about the price movement of a coin. You could argue I'm looking at the technicals. But I like to view this as a fundamental characteristic because when you buy an altcoin, yes, this is a technical consideration, but it is a reflection of the underlying fundamentals of the project. If the project has outlier price action, it's a reflection of the fundamentals, okay? It's also a reflection of, some more technical things, but from a long-term perspective, if a coin has outlier price action, it's because of its fundamentals, okay? So in crypto, the worst coins that you'll come across copy Bitcoin's price action. They'll go up the same as Bitcoin, they'll go down the same, or they'll go down less and up. They'll go down more and up less, right? Those are the worst coins you want to buy. So for example, things like Ripple, Litecoin, Cardano, XMR, what else? Decentraland, anything that just copies Bitcoin, like only goes up when Bitcoin goes up, those are the worst coins to own, okay? And the best performing coins, the ones that make you the most money, ignore it. They don't give a fuck what Bitcoin does. They'll do its own thing. And you probably already know this if you've been in the market long enough. But if you haven't seen this, but now you understand that this is a really important characteristic. Okay? So just to help you visualize in a really simple way what I'm referring to. So in crypto, right, you got all these different coins. They're all moving at different, times, at different price movements. Generally speaking, the market is doing roughly the same thing. So most coins are moving roughly the same region, roughly going up at the same time, roughly going down at the same time. They're doing the same shit, okay? But there's some coins, 1% of the market, 2% of the market, which are doing their own thing, okay? Now, if, let's say there was a coin doing this, right? That's not an outlier coin in the way that I look at it. An outlier coin in the way that I'm looking at it is an outlier price action where it goes down less and up more. Okay, so you can see here, the market is making lower lows. Whereas the market here, let's pretend this is a multi-month time frame, this coin is making higher highs. This is an incredibly bullish coin, and this is something that you actually can use entirely by itself to determine an investment, right? You could look at a coin that looks like this, see a chart like this, and you can buy on this breakout, knowing that it's basically guaranteed to go up. It's like one of the highest hit rate setups in crypto, right? That breakout of that key level when it has outlier price action for multiple months. It's such a high hit rate, right? Because the whole market is weak, right? And this one is not weak. There's a reason for that, and we're going to cover the reason for that in this video. And Kun, as always, with some really valuable tweets here, he said that a first level test you can use on looking through alts is you don't want to be able to tell when the Bitcoin local tops and bottoms are on the chart. So for example, let's pretend that purple is Bitcoin, right? You can see that this is the bottom, this is the top, this is the top, and there's a top here. You can't tell that on the red, but you can tell that on green, on yellow, sort of on blue, and you can tell it all here, right? On blue you can tell, on yellow you can tell, right? But on red you have no fucking clue. And that is a good first sign for whether you should be buying a coin or not. It should look like it flows up and down on its own terms. Obviously greater markets impact on dips, but the chart shouldn't just copy Bitcoin and Ethereum, okay? Because when you think about it, why do you buy altcoins? What's the point? Well, the entire point is to, outperform it. It's to outperform Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana. The whole idea of altcoins, the whole reason they were originally invented was to stack Bitcoin. That was the whole idea. It was like the only good coin's Bitcoin. There's all these other coins like Peercoin, Dogecoin. We just buy these shit projects to get more Bitcoin because we know that this is the best project. And now the market's more sophisticated. Oh my god, the coins are better now. But it's the altcoins are still just as fucking terrible as they were 10 years ago. They're really not any different. Okay? So your goal of buying an altcoin is to stack Bitcoin or Ethereum or Solana, right? If your altcoin is just a slower Solana, if it's underperforming Solana, why do you own it? What's the point of owning a coin that goes up less than a coin which has less risk? It doesn't make any sense, right? If your coin has to have Bitcoin go up so that it goes up, why the fuck do you own it? Why not just own Bitcoin? You know, why take on more risk for less upside, right? If this is Bitcoin, right, and your coin only starts going up, you know, here, right, and it's always underperforming Bitcoin, you take on more risk because this coin's going to go down more when the bear market comes, right? It's going to go down way down here, and it's going to make you less money. So it has 0 point. But most of you watching this video, you have altcoins which go up less and go down more. And you would be better off just holding Solana, holding Ethereum, holding Bitcoin. What's the fucking point? There is no point if it's just going to underperform. And this is why you need to buy outlier coins. So you have to benchmark your returns against what is likely to occur for these coins in a bull run, right? If you expect Ethereum to do a 4x, you have to own coins which you think can do more than a 4x to justify the additional risk. You know, the question is, will you make more or less? If you're going to make less, why bother, right? It doesn't make any sense at all. Okay, so why is outlier price action so important? Well, because I've been doing crypto for 6 years, I've basically come to learn that coins which trade completely separate from the rest of the market are not to be ignored. There's been so many countless times where I've seen a coin and it's just doing its own thing while the market's crashing. And I'll be like, what the fuck is this coin doing? What's happening? Why is it doing this? And then you'll ignore it because you'll just be like, whatever, you know, you forget. And then that coin's pumping for months on months, and you're like, what the heck? What just happened? Why did it do that? And that's happened a lot of times, and it's happened recently with Casper. I completely missed Casper, and it's the perfect case study of what you need to look for in an investment. And I'm going to cover this a bit later. So outlier price action is basically a sign of underlying strength, which tends to continue beyond the day that you notice it, right? So you notice the coin's strong, the market dumps, it doesn't dump. That strength is not temporary. It tends to be at least for a few days, at least for a week, or maybe even multiple months. Okay? So when a coin moves its own direction, it has a completely separate supply and demand dynamic occurring, right? It's not dictated by the same supply and demand as the rest of the market. And if the coin is going up when the rest of the market is going down, the supply and demand dynamic is less supply and more demand. And you want to own things that have the most demand and the least supply. Because if it has the most demand and the least supply right this second, it's probably going to continue to do so, right? It just makes sense because markets have momentum. Outlier price action can be determined on a low time frame for momentum trading or a high time frame for picking longer term investments. So you can use outlier price action for a short-term trading strategy, or you can use it to help pick your long-term investments. Now, this section of the course is for, you know, fundamentals for investing, right? But we will go briefly into the momentum trading side of things. So let's cover that now. So for example, if you're looking to learn a trading strategy for crypto, one of my favorite ones that I used to do, and that is really profitable, is momentum trading, right? So when the market has a crash, so let's imagine, right, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, Solana, XRP, Ripple, and then this coin, right? This coin's doing this. You want to be bidding this coin because the rest of the market has got very bad supply and demand dynamics, and this one has very good supply and demand dynamics. And if it has good supply and demand dynamics right now, it probably will have good supply and demand dynamics tomorrow, right? Because you have to ask yourself the question, if Bitcoin dropping 10% in a day can't make a coin go down, what will? Right? If Bitcoin drops 10% and a coin doesn't drop, what happens when Bitcoin mean reverts? Right? If Bitcoin does this and your coin does this, what happens when Bitcoin mean reverts up? Well, this coin's going to go ballistic, right? Because it has strength. If it goes down less, it's going to go up more. If it has less supply and more demand, it just happens, right? It's like a slingshot, right? When you pull it back really, really, really hard, actually, no, that's not a good metaphor, but basically, if Bitcoin dumps 10% in a day, it's going to mean revert, right? If it mean reverts, that's going to give this coin the strength to push up. And people are going to recognize this strength and they're going to bid this coin, right? So what happens is this, right? One coin goes down, Bitcoin goes down, sorry. All the coins go down, right? And then there's a couple coins that do this. And the market recognizes these ones and they start bidding. So all the momentum traders start bidding. And the goal is that on the crash, find the coins which are basically holding their ground, which are outlier price action, and bid them, right? And I'm going to show you an example of this right now. So right here, you can see this is a low time frame chart of the coin C, and this is Bitcoin. So if I zoom in here, right, you can see that Bitcoin is going down, lower lows, and this coin is going sideways. So you could see just by common sense, okay, this coin is not making new lows while Bitcoin is. I should probably bid this coin, right? Pretty straightforward. And all you had to do was, you can see it was going down again and it was going sideways. If Bitcoin crashing can't make this coin go down, what will? And you can see that Bitcoin did finally go up. And what happens? Well, this coin goes up significantly more. It went from 22 cents all the way up to 36 cents. So you made like a 50% gain, whereas Bitcoin went from 42,000 to 44,000, right? So that's how much of a gain is that? That's like a few percent, right? Versus 50%. So you can see here that because it had the underlying strength, it was able to outperform the market. And you can see another classic example here. This coin's sloping up, Bitcoin's going down, right? So you could maybe do some sort of retest, breakout retest strategy, because you see that Bitcoin is weak, this coin is strong. And you can see here that when Bitcoin rallied, right, the rally sort of, did it continue or did it end? Can't even draw. It was about, so the rally actually, it rallied on the wick when Bitcoin began rallying. So you can see here that you can build your own trading strategy around the concept of momentum, right? You analyze the low time frames, you wait for Bitcoin to dump, you see which coins hold up and which ones go sideways. You bid the ones at support levels that go sideways, that have outlier price action, and you ride them as they pump. So this is a low time frame trading strategy, one of the most profitable ones that you can follow, one of the ones I most highly recommend if you do want to try trading. And it works really good, because the way that you should view what just happened here is this tweet really well summarizes it.